Hi, my name is Laura Burgoyne, and I'm excited to be joining together with my sister Connie Blackwood in the NOSA Unleashed podcast. Here, we want to expose the stigma surrounding mental health issues by illuminating and discussing real-life challenges and obstacles, keeping us paralyzed and fearful to move forward. Let us inspire you to believe there's more to life than what you're currently experiencing. You can rise from your despair and find hope for the future. It's time to end the silence, remove the stigma of mental health, and to pursue the path to purpose and fulfillment. We will do this together because no one stands alone. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you can join us here on our first episode of our NOSA Unleashed podcast. This is where we just wanted to start the conversation about what NOSA Foundation is all about and why we're here and why we're starting this podcast. And joining me today is my sister, Connie Blackwood. I'm so excited to have her joining me in NOSA Foundation. And my passion behind NOSA Foundation is really to offer supports to others who are struggling with mental health issues or personal traumas. And Connie has just come alongside me from the very start when we started this up in 2021. She has been right by my side. She's been my sidekick, and I just am so thankful that she's here. And so, Connie, just introduce yourself a little bit.
So my name is Connie Blackwood, as Laura said, and I'm a mentor with NOSA, as well as being Laura's sidekick, as she said. My main focus for my mentoring is actually healing emotional trauma and working on identity.
I'm so glad that you've joined with me in this process, Connie, in this endeavor to really help people find freedom from mental health and trauma issues. And so I just want to open this up as a discussion today, Connie, and let's share with everyone what NOSA Foundation is all about. So first of all, I'm going to start with the name, NOSA Foundation. You might wonder, well, what does NOSA mean? Well, NOSA, it means no one stands alone. And the whole point behind that name generates from my actual childhood. Like I struggled with mental health issues for a lot of my younger years. And most of it, I journeyed alone. I had no one to process with. I had no one to help me heal and overcome the obstacles I was facing. I struggled with anxiety, depression, suicidal tendencies, and really I had no hope for life, no hope for my future. And I wasn't able to find help in my life till much later in my adolescence, in my 16, 17 years old. And it was in that time where that was the first time I actually reached out to someone, really shared my story, and became vulnerable to the point of wanting people to help. And, you know, there was many obstacles to why I didn't find help earlier in life. And I'll just share two of them quick here. Number one was I didn't have the finances to reach out for supports. And then the second was the stigma. There's so much stigma that is surrounding mental health or struggles that we face that oftentimes we avoid reaching out for help. And those were the two biggest obstacles I faced. And so those are two of the obstacles I want to tackle in NOSA Foundation, is to really offer supports to people where they don't have to worry about the costs associated with typical life coaching or counseling or all of those kind of services. And the other one is that they don't have to journey alone, that mental health is not an issue that needs to be swept under the carpet and hidden and kept in secret. I want to bring this to the light, and I want to actually normalize it because, in my opinion, we all struggle with mental health. So yeah, Connie, what are some of your thoughts about NOSA Foundation? And
when you first came to me with this idea, the one of the things that really resonated with me was that it was created to make sure that everyone knows they're not alone, and that we stand with them. And for me, that's huge because so much of my life, like whenever I've been struggling, I isolate, right? And I'm not the only one out there. Many people are like that. And we tend to do that. We don't tend to seek help. And that's when we need the help the most. is when we feel like isolating. And so just to be there as a resource for those when they feel like isolating, knowing that they don't have to do this alone, and it's right in the name, is amazing to me. Another thing is that we're creating a safe place for people who are struggling with emotional trauma and mental health concerns. And for me, that was huge because, like you, when we were growing up, I didn't have the finances or the resources to get any help when I was younger. And I had to heal gradually as an adult. And it was a long, daunting process. And a lot of the struggles that I went through, I could have been avoided had I been able to seek help earlier in life. And so I love the fact that we are making ourselves available to anybody, which is encouraging.
Yeah, that's such a huge part of my heart and mission in what we do, is to, basically help anyone who needs it. And that brings us to the next question, though. How can we help everyone, right? And so, through this process, we've encountered many people, and I've realized that we actually do have an ideal client, I guess you could say, or an ideal person, or where they're at in their journey. Those are the ideal people that we would work with. And those are the people that are at the place in their journey that they're done with where they're at, and they just want healing, and they're willing to go deep, they're willing to do the hard work, and they're ready. So I would say somebody who's ready to deal with the deeper issues, the trauma, the different things that got them to where they're at, to face them head on and to walk through healing to find freedom. Those are the people. And I know there's lots of people who desire freedom, but they're not quite ready. They're not quite there. They love the idea of being free. They love the idea of no longer having to struggle with these issues, but they're not ready to do the hard work. And so if you find that you're in that place, then I'd say, then we're probably not the right people for you, because we're ready. We are willing to walk with you, and we're willing to get into the deep knit and gritty and help you find the roots to your struggles and help you find that freedom, so you can step out of where you are and step into a future that you really want to live out, which is fulfilling your purpose, is becoming who God created you to be, and to live it to the fullest.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just so excited. And, even this podcast, like, this is our first episode. And the reason we decided to do this podcast is because, we do have a reach within our YouTube community or our Facebook community or through our website and through our mentoring services. But I've recognized that there's a lot of people struggling out there that aren't in those places. And so I just wanted to increase our area of influence and be able to spread our message that you don't have to live in this forever.
Well, and some people also, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, some people may also not have the time to invest in coming out and doing a mentoring session and all this other stuff, but they do have the 15 minutes on their way to work or on their way home from work where they can listen and still get key things that they can implement into their life to set them free in different areas. And so I think by doing this, we're opening up the opportunity where they don't necessarily have to go into a mentoring session, or they don't necessarily have to go into a group session, or they don't necessarily have to do an entire online course, where they can still get value just by listening.
Right. And, I find that we're going to be able to increase our influence by offering this content in this platform, this podcast platform. And so I'm really excited to be starting this journey and really just sharing our hearts, sharing our perspective, sharing our journey of healing through mental, emotional, and spiritual trauma, and how we've come past it, and how that's part of the stigma that has been surrounding mental health, which is that, if you struggle with anxiety or depression or these other things, you're going to live with this your whole life. Well, that's not a belief that I hold. And I really want to share that message that there's hope. You don't have to struggle with this your whole life. And we're going to help you get to the root of the problem, deal with that root, heal from that root so that you can move on, you can become whole, you can move forward in freedom and no longer struggle with these things. And develop the tools that, when something else happens in your life and you go through a new season where, these things want to rise up again, that you have the tools in place to be able to process them right away and to be able to overcome them without having it really hold you back.
And also help you build healthy habits, because those healthy habits going forward will help you stay in that place rather than reverting back where your old habits will take you.
That's right. So I don't know, Connie, is there anything else you think we should share quickly here about what NOSA Foundation means, our purpose, why we're here, just before we close out today's podcast?
I think we've covered the majority of it. I just wanted to highlight that we offer group sessions, one-on-one sessions, our monthly webinar, obviously the new podcast, as you can hear us. And we're also going to be branching into online courses in the new year, which is really cool. So if any of those things interest you, definitely stay engaged with us, and look forward to sharing more news with you as things progress.
Awesome. So yeah, if any of these things just really stir your heart and you think, I am just ready for change, I'm ready for the next stage of my life, I want to overcome these obstacles, and you want to work with us, the way you get connected to us is you can check us out on our website at nosafoundation.com. And we've actually been doing online webinars for the last year, and so all of our previous recordings are on there. You're welcome to check them out. And we're actually going to be continuing our 2023 series starting first week in January. So you're welcome to also go on the website and register for that. It's called The Chameleon Effect. And I'm just so honored that Connie is going to be heading that one up. So Connie, do you want to just tell us of what that means? What does the chameleon effect mean, and how does it impact us, and why should people join us on that webinar?
A lot of times when we're in unfamiliar social situations, we get it in our heads that we can't be accepted for who we are. So we put on a mask, or we become a chameleon and try to fit into the group with what we perceive that they want us to be. And so the chameleon effect is basically trying to blend into a social situation. And it can be any social situation. It could be work, it could be a new set of friends, it could be anything. But we always try to be something else. And sometimes it starts becoming more than just social situations. It filters into every aspect of our lives, into the point where we don't even recognize who we are anymore. And when it gets that bad, then we need to do something about it, because, well, we need to do something about it from the beginning, because it's better if you are who you are. Even if people accept you as this mask, they're accepting a fake person. They're not accepting the real you. And so any love or anything they show positively towards you, you don't accept as for you, because you weren't really the person that they're connected with. And vice versa. Anything negative also is then separated, but it closes you off from really experiencing true love for who you really are. And you end up in this place where not only do you not know who you are, but you feel very unloved, because no one can love you for who you really are, because you don't even know who that is anymore. So I want to talk about what it is, and then try to help you figure out how to unravel that, because once you're in it, people are expecting that to be who you are. So that's basically what the webinar is all about.
So come join us first, I think that's January 5th from 7 to 9 p.m. via Zoom. You can register on the website at nosafoundation.com, and you'll be sent the private Zoom link. So Hope to see you guys there. And yeah, thanks for joining us on our first episode of NOSA Unleashed, and stay tuned for more episodes to come. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Join us next time on the NOSA Unleashed podcast.